Oh, hey, Kevin. Hey, Patrick. Good gracious. Yeah, y'all jumped in here quick. Y'all jumped in here quick already. I'm just getting started myself. Trying to get this Sunday morning, a rainy morning. Hey, Greg. Trying to get this rainy morning started. It is really raining outside right now. Hey, Jeff Senior. Hey, Joey. Yeah, it is really putting down the rain. It's really putting down the rain today outside. You're going to probably almost hear it through my building. I've got a metal roof, and you might be able to hear it here on my roof here. But it is really putting down the rain. Hey, Kevin. Oh, it's not raining in Rockingham? Well, it is over here in Cherryville. It is putting down the rain. I'm over here in Gaston County. You're over there in no, Rockingham's not in Rockingham County. It's, what is that? I forget what county that's in. That's over near Richard Petty. Over near Randleman. Richmond County. Yeah, that's it. Richmond County. I should know. They always had a good baseball team that played our Cherryville Post 100 over here. They always seemed to get into the playoffs. And Richmond County was one of the teams who always played. Hey, comfortable man. Glad to see you in here too. Yeah, Heavy Machinery's over there in Austria. I don't even know if it's raining at all over there. Hey, Mike, how are you? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still losing a little bit of weight. I can report that I'm down to 221 now, from almost 240 down to 221. So I've lost about 20 pounds. Yeah, I think Phil and Josh were up late last night themselves. So I don't know when they'll get in. Yeah, I'm trying to lose some weight, trying to get my health back in order as best I can. I'm feeling pretty good, Aaron. Feeling pretty good. It's taken a while. It's like everything else. You got to go when you go through rehab and everything. You have to. I'm doing a lot of exercise and a lot of walking on the treadmill, walking up and down stairs, doing different things like that to get my wind back. My lung capacity is the hardest thing to get back. couldn't make it yesterday. Done. Yeah. Yesterday and today have both been very, very rainy days for us. I mean, it's just, we had 2.5 inches of rain yesterday. I think at one point, I don't know how much we actually had for the whole day. My daughter measured it. We got a rain gauge outside, and she went outside and said it was at 2.5 inches then. And I don't know if she reset it or what, but we probably had another 2 inches of rain. Everything is soaked, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm staying busy, working back at it a little bit. I'm not working the store, so to speak, as much as I am working the trucking business. I'm back getting my dispatches and everything for the trucks, and trying to keep up with that. Trying to keep enough drivers employed. I've had some issues with some drivers in Savannah, so I've got to hire me some extra drivers in Savannah, Georgia. But other than that, it's a normal situation. You go at it and you work as hard as you can each day. Just put on my pants and try to, work as hard as I can all day long and call it a day. And then the next day I'll be here before you know it. Yeah, I mean we're staying busy. We're staying really busy. It's busy in the shop. We've gotten a lot of work done in the shop. We've I'm trying to think what all we've had to do. I think we did some injector work on one truck, and then of course we had one that had a deer strike. I had to fix that. I had one that hit a deer last Friday, and we had to put a new bumper and uh, fix the sensor on it, and all kind of stuff, and just things like that. Yeah, and that's basically the way it is. You work as hard as you can every day, and then before you know it, the year's gone. And I think most people will be glad when 2020 is gone. 2020 has been one more hectic year for everybody, I think, and I think we'll be glad to get it behind us and get some results of what we want. At least I hope, and at least regroup and try to hope for the best next year. I mean, of course, a lot of these things are going to be. I went back and was looking at some history of the pandemic that they had in I believe it was 1918, and with the Spanish flu, and it took almost 2 years to get over that. Yeah, I mean, as far as financially, it's not been a bad year for me. As far as physically, it's been bad for me. Oh, you're going to go up to Cherokee, are you? Yeah. Well, just hang on a few years, and you can do the one right below me down here at Kings Mountain with the Catawba. They've already started breaking ground down there, and looks like they're going to have some big casinos and hotels and everything else right there about exit 5 on I-85 in Kings Mountain. I was down there the other day. My nephew's shop is actually across the road from where the casino is going to be, and he's talking about they may have to move out of that shop because that land's probably going to be sold and everything, and it's something. Well, I don't know if y'all guys can hear it, but boy, the rain is coming down. I don't know if y'all can. Yeah, Kings Mountain is going to be a big casino for the Catawba Indians. They have been fighting that for probably close to 40 or 50 years. The Cherokee have not wanted the Catawbas to be recognized and have a opportunity to have casinos down here, and they've been fighting with tooth and nail and lobbying and everything else, trying to keep that from happening. But that's all politics. That's politics on that kind of stuff, and it just it is what it is. You can hear it in the background a little bit. Okay, yeah. It is putting down the rain. It's just if you can hear it on this tin roof and everything, this metal roof. Yeah, yeah. The Catawbas are fighting the Cherokee again. They hadn't fought them in several hundred years, and now they're fighting them again. Yeah, it's sort of crazy. The Catawba Indians, of course, they actually, I mean, the Catawba River is not too far from where I live. It's over there near Charlotte, and of course, they claim land down around Rock Hill and everything else. And then somehow or another, they were able to get this. I don't know if they got a land grant or something for over here in Kings Mountain, but they're working on that. Yeah. So they couldn't shut down the casinos in Michigan. Yeah, I know the governor up there probably is all upset since she couldn't shut it down. Crazy things there. And then she about gets kidnapped and wants to blame it on the president for doing it, or antagonizing. I mean, anything and everything that the is going wrong with the left, they want to blame the president. Yeah, they probably are. We are running so hard, Joey, that they're probably subcontracting a few things. I wouldn't doubt. I know they're doing the what they call the purchase power on the line haul end, and that's whereas they get people like Snyder or Swift or somebody else to take some of the freight, because we've got so much freight that we don't have the manpower to do it. I mean, my trucks are running 7 days a week. I've got some dispatch out this morning. I'll have them tonight. They just round the clock. I had it slacks off a little bit. I only had like 4 running last night, but then today I've got several running today, and I will have, and then tomorrow it picks right back up again. It'll be a full load again tomorrow, and that sort of stuff. Yeah, the FedEx the FedEx is booming. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's running harder now than I've ever seen it run. And this past year has been one of the most productive years I've ever seen with FedEx. Oh yeah, Amazon's trying to do their thing. I mean, Amazon has gotten filthy rich. This pandemic played right into their hands. I mean, you think about it, they tell all the mom and pop stores you can't be open, but Amazon, you can be right open and we'll ship it right to you. So that has really been detrimental to the small business, which is really bad. And well, I'm about to sneeze, I'm afraid. I'm gonna have to. Oh, they got Amazons everywhere now. I mean, we have in this area over here in the Charlotte area, we have 5, not one, but 5 warehouses. Got one huge one on 85. Then they got one in Concord. They got another one in Concord. They got 2 over on 74. And I mean, it's just amazing what they're doing. But, this, that's what happens when the government kind of lets some, uh, let some people get by with some things. And right now, Amazon is, I don't see how the antitrust people aren't coming down on them. Yeah. Well, I don't know if they'll fall like a rock, but I mean, I think there needs to be something done, because Amazon is getting to be a big behemoth right now. It is so large that uh, I think it's going to be detrimental to the way everybody else does business if we don't do something about it. Well, I sure hope we don't end up with socialism. Right now, I'm scared to death that uh, I want the right people to get out and vote and have a sense about themselves. I mean, I don't want this socialism, and we have the extreme left that are wanting socialist ways, and I just it scares me. Yeah, it's a very scary thing that um, it's a very scary thing that some people may want to be more socialist than they are capitalist. and the capitalist way has worked for us for 250 years, and I definitely don't want to see the other. CP got burned on Amazon stuff. Well, Amazon usually backs them up on that, even though I had something like that where a battery manufacturer went out of business or something, and I still was able to get a refund on it, I think. Yeah, well, we're all going to have to. Uh, I don't know. I can't understand this overtaxation. I mean, uh, we've got we got some people that feel like that somebody else is always going to pay for something, and that somebody else is going to be us. I mean, if we want things, we're going to be taxed for it. That's it, plain and simple. And it's not always going to be the rich guy. I mean, you can only tax the rich guys so much, and they'll either move on. Uh, they have an opportunity to change better than anybody. I mean, if you're rich and you want to shelter your money, you have accountants and everything else that can help you do that a lot better than you and I can do. I mean, we can attempt it, but can we afford to pay the price? And that's what I see happening. I mean, you're seeing a lot of people that have been led down a path thinking, oh well, I'm gonna get this free, I'm gonna get this free, and I'm gonna get this free. You're not going to get it free. You're going to pay for it somewhere. Somebody's got to pay for it, and that's the problem. I mean, somebody somewhere is going to pay for something. I mean, not everything is free. If everything was free, everybody would quit. And you know that's the irony to this is a lot of people think they can quit and just get a subsidized check or get a check of some description, and that's not right. It's not right, and it's not going to happen. So I'm really it really upsets me to see how some people that their mentality is working right now, and what their thought process is. But that's the way it goes. I mean, I know the capitalist system works because I work off of the capitalist system. I mean, my store, my trucks, everything is very much dependent on a good working capitalist system, and that's what I believe in. Oh, I think so. Yeah, the I very much think that the socialist and the Marxist system uh, expect to get a lot of assistance from the government. I don't want the government divvying up the amount of money that I'm going to get. I want to be able to earn what I want to get. I want to be able to. I want to be able to uh, have control of my own destiny. I mean, when you wait on any kind of government assistance, you're not controlling your destiny. You're waiting. You know waiting there with your hand out. I mean, that's not a good omen. I mean, it's just not. It's not sustainable. Hey, Ag Tech, how are you? I hope since you're in harvest time that it's dry out your way. It is wet as everything here. As I was saying, a lot of people could probably hear all the heavy rain on my roof here because it is really really raining here in North Carolina. At least my part of North Carolina. I know. What was Kevin was saying a while ago over in Rockingham that it's not raining over there, but it is pouring down rain over here in the Piedmont of North Carolina and in Cherryville. That's where I'm at, is in Cherryville, North Carolina. Yeah. Yeah. And that does. I mean, everybody should have a pride in their own product, whether their product is their labor, whether their product is something that they manufacture, whether their product is just the end result of a group of people doing something. I mean, you've got everybody. I think wants a little bit of accomplishment. I mean, I know when I go to work, uh, I don't expect to just get something for nothing. I want to be able to feel like I've done something, contributed, and then have something to show for what my efforts were that day. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Uh, I wonder about our country, and it really behooves me. I mean, I'm trying to oh, Churchill, yeah. Well, Churchill. Hey, Jim C. Yeah, Churchill was a very smart man, and and there have been a lot of, we've had a lot of very smart men. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to. Yeah, I didn't get to stay on heavy wrenches site last night too long. Him and Josh were on there, and I think I don't know how long. Gosh, they didn't get on there till late, and I had to get to rest. I had to get to sleep. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, glad to see you jump in here too. Yeah, it's yeah, heavy wrench had a late show last night. I was on it for a little bit. Hey, Zach, how are you? I was on it for a little bit and tried to uh, converse a little bit, but I was getting tired. I've been watching. I'd watched a lot of football games yesterday. I enjoyed the college football. I like college football. Don't care much for the pros, but I like college football. It's got a different energy to it. You're getting some more tools next week. Are you getting the which tools are you getting? Heavy machinery. Oh, the news. Basically, we're just out here talking about just the normal. I mean, as far as my FedEx stuff goes, we're wide open. Uh, I'm like a broken record with that. I mean, I need more drivers, and we're wide open, working as hard as we can to keep all the equipment going and keep keep deer out from running out. That's the bad thing about deer season. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, "Have you ever killed any deer?" I said, "Well, I usually kill about 4 or 5 deer a year." They said, "Oh, really?" So, "What gun you using?" I said, "Well, I'm using a a Freightliner truck usually because we we kill about 4 or 5 deer every year. It seems like, and they kill my trucks a lot too. I I can't think a year in the past 20 that I've hadn't at least killed 1 or 2 deer uh, during the year. Boy, I've got some gnats out here. I'm not going to say that gnat. I got a couple gnats. I'm at to. I'm gonna be like Mike Pence with that fly on my head. No, I don't have those herd bumpers on my trucks. Probably should, but those things are a little bit aggravating because you got to. And my guy, it's hard enough for my guys to check the oil now. If I put something else like that out there for them, it'd be tough. Now, if I rent out west where they got the elk and the moose and everything else, I would probably put one of those guards on my trucks. But running south like I do, it's mainly small doe deer. I mean, they do some damage, no doubt, but but I had to check my odds. I just don't want to. If I put those guards on all my trucks, good gosh, it would be. Those things are several $1,000s, and you put that on 40 or 50 trucks, and it adds up to a good bit of money. So I don't know if it would justify the end. Has Phil made it in here? There he is. Well, how late did you stay on, Phil? I had to get off around midnight. I didn't. Yeah. Last time I did something like that, Josh was on my channel one time, and his mother came in and told him he had to get off the computer. For the amount of money I'd have to pay for those cow catchers and everything, or deer moose guards or whatever you want to call them. I've heard them called all different things. I think for the amount of money that I would have to spend, I couldn't justify that because I'm not doing that much damage to my trucks, and it usually just takes out a bumper or stuff like that. That's what happened there. They took out the bumper. It did take out the collision avoidance system. I had to work on it, and it's got a little sensor right in the middle of the bumper. Yeah, yeah. I think Phil's show put a lot of us to sleep last night. No offense, Phil. It was getting long. And I'm like myself. I'm on the Eastern. I believe you're Central Time, aren't you, Phil? I'm on the Eastern, Standard Time. No, I hadn't taken many hoods out. It usually, the trucks are so high, it usually gets more bumpers than it does hoods. Every once in a while you'll get a hood, and every once in a while you get the skirting. And I had that happen last year. Took the skirting out on one. Oh, you're Eastern too, so you were up just as long. Maybe we have smaller deer down here. I know mine don't take out that. I've had some big ones hit me. I actually hit a big buck myself in downtown area. I was in downtown Durham, North Carolina, not too far from Duke University, and hit one of the biggest deers I'd ever hit in my life. And it was a big buck. And I was on a major highway, downtown Durham, North Carolina, not out in the country, downtown. And here comes a huge buck across the road. Yeah. Yeah. The population, the deer population has gotten out of hand, in my opinion. Yeah, well, that's the way it is down here. Hey, Ron, how are you? Yeah, down here it's the same way. We have got a lot. A lot of deer down here, and the crazy thing about it, when I was young, I don't remember that many deer and deer strikes and people getting hit with it. Oh no, they actually encourage us to go ahead and hit the deer. That's one of our safety things is not to dodge a deer. and because they've had more incidents where people have actually tried to dodge them and maybe flip a trailer. And the mindset of the safety department is go ahead and hit it. You know, I mean, you can hit your brakes, try to avoid it, but don't do something foolish and trying to miss a deer. And usually when you try to miss it, you'll run right into it anyway. And that's the mindset of a lot of, like I say, of the safety people. Yeah, now they say now a moose could or total a truck. I mean, a moose is so much higher up and so much more body mass. Uh, the thing about a deer, it's actually soft. It doesn't have a real strong body. It's got a soft body, and when you hit a deer, it kind of explodes when you hit it with a big truck. But boy, I've heard some people with a truck hitting a moose before, and they talk about, you're about total loss that truck when you do that. Yeah, conservation. We've got. Yeah, yeah. I've seen some. Well, I actually got some wild turkey down on my farm too. I've got a good many wild turkey, but we've had owls to hit trucks. We've had turkeys to hit trucks. I mean, you don't think about those wild turkey being able to fly. They don't fly real high, but they fly. They'll fly, 4 or 5 feet off the ground, and that's just right in our view at that point. Yeah, conservation of wild animals is a must, especially as we take we're taking their habitat more and more by building homes and everything else. I mean, you think about you think about all the construction in rural areas now, and how many. I mean, they'll come through and clear out 50 or 75 acres of land, and that was a habitat for animals. Usually. Ooh, wow. Yeah, yeah, that was a Ford. That was a tough Ford Escape. If you did that ag tech, man. Yeah, that's tough, Walter. Yeah, now I've only heard of one of our trucks. It wasn't my truck. I had a friend of mine that was a contractor in Asheville, and he was going on the other side. He was headed up Black Mountains, almost down below Black Mountain, and his truck hit a bear. Hit a black bear, and he said, first off, they didn't see it until he was right on it, and he couldn't dodge it and everything else. And then when they hit it, he said, "You talking about doing some damage?" Now that black bear did some damage. I mean, that mass of that animal is just huge, and you don't think about it, and it's so compact, and uh, it was something. But I actually went up and looked at the truck, thinking that I could maybe buy the salvage and use that truck. But gosh, it was tore up so bad, it totally lost the guy's truck. A black bear did. Hey, Philip, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Glad to see you jump in here. Coyote and a fox. Okay, yeah. The coyotes, you'll hear them every once in a while, and then foxes. We got plenty of foxes around our area, but you don't hear a fox. But you'll hear a coyote every once in a while. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about it. Yeah, a bear has got a lot more mass to it than you realize, And like I said, a deer is just the opposite. A deer, I mean, seriously, the ones that we've hit, I mean, it's like they explode. I mean, they're such soft bodies and everything. They just, I guess that's why they have there's a light on their feet and everything. Yeah. Now, what area are you at, Jim? GMC? I have to remember. I know Joey's up there in New York State. Of course, Upper New York State. Whew, excuse me, guys. I'm yawning because of heavy wrench. Heavy wrench keeping us up so late last night. But Central Ohio. Okay. Yeah, Central Ohio. That's up there you near Columbus. I know that or up above Columbus. Columbus is sort of central. I'm trying to picture it on the map, like sort of central southern, isn't it? And then, of course, Cleveland over to one side. I bet you are, Phil. Oh, you're northwest of Columbus. Okay. Well, I tell you what, drive them long enough, Ron, and you'll hit something, especially at night. I mean, we hit. Uh, that's generally the ones. My drivers that run at night are the ones that generally hit deer and or animals of some sort. Yeah, yeah. Phil's got to get the coffee pot out there, hadn't he? Yeah, he made everybody that watches his channel sleepy as everything. I mean, he had to go to a birthday party, I think he said, and then it delayed his schedule. And everybody was nice and jumped in there. Most people and listened to it a little bit anyway. I had to get out because I was getting sleepy. Already on pot 2, are you? Yeah. I've been to Shreveport. It's been a while, but I've been to Shreveport. I actually, boy, I about wrecked a truck in Shreveport. Well, it scared the crap out of me. I didn't about, well, let me explain. I was in a cab over truck. That's how long it was. This was back in the mid, no, it's probably early 80s, about probably 81, 82. And I was going through Shreveport and I was going around a curve on the interstate and the road was all to pieces. And I hit a couple of potholes and it jerked the steering wheel out of my hand and I wasn't buckled up and it threw me over onto the doghouse of the truck as I'm going down the road. And I had to jump back under the wheel as quick as I could and take control of it. And I thought, well, I could have quickly flipped that truck. And here I was going around the curve. It scared me to death, but nothing happened. I mean, it was just a huge scare. Well, hey, Chris, you didn't get your notification. Well, hit that bell down there to see if you can get your notification. Because I'm trying to be 9:00 9:00 my time every Sunday morning. I try to. I don't think I've missed it in the last few years. Even while in the hospital, I even try to do that. So I tried to get out here and do what I was supposed to do. And my wife said I'm too dedicated sometimes. I said, no, well, no. I mean, you need consistency. Hey, Jerry. Yep, I try to be 9:00 on the dot if I can. That's my old radio days too. I mean, when I signed on the radio station, you had to sign on exactly top of the hour, and then you signed off the top of the hour. Well, I try to be loyal. I try to be loyal to the listeners and the people who like to be on the podcast. Well, Chris, how's the building going along? I've seen every episode, I think, so far, and I saw the one where you had the one pour of cement. I haven't caught anything else. I hope it's going along pretty good. I hope the weather's been cooperating. So it's 8 o'clock for you then, is it, Jerry? Well, 8 o'clock either way. For Chris, it's 8 o'clock for Chris too. You got 3 pours done. Well, that's great. That's great. You're getting all your expansion joints cut and everything too. Because boy, that big of a pour like that, you better have plenty of expansion cuts. I mean, if you don't have those expansion cuts, Mother Nature will it's tough. Yeah. See, of course, y'all guys are doing it yourself. Yeah, because now your wedding is coming up. When? In just a couple weeks? I had to look on there. We sent you something out. I don't know if Casey told you, but we sent a donation to one of the things that y'all had listed. So we did that. I hope they got it. Yeah. Well, my signal's been good, Joy. I don't know if anybody else is losing me. It's showing everything good on this end. Is everybody else still getting a good tight signal from me? Well, that's good, Jerry. I'm having to, as I was telling them a while ago, I'm down 20 pounds or better right now myself, and probably going to get a baggier neck because of it. Yeah, it looks like my signal's good. I've been watching that. So every once in a while, when I have a bad signal, it'll notify me on YouTube there. Yeah, it must be on your, Joey. I don't know what's happening. Maybe Cuomo's cutting your electricity down. Or Bellagio or whatever. I don't think you're not in the city though, are you? Well, yeah, it is time. And if y'all could see my jeans, I'm actually dropped the size of my jeans too. I'm down to 38s again. I hadn't been in 38s in a while. Like to get on down to probably 36s if I could. And it's really been a long time since I was in 36 pants. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm trying to, because I can't control that. But usually my signal is really good out here at the Napa store. That's the reason I come out here a lot. My signal is so at the shop, but it's not as good as it is out here at Napa. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a new wardrobe probably. Yeah, my wife says she's all for it going shopping for me. Yeah, well that's good. So Patrick gets a good signal all the way over Austria. Oh me, I might have to. I'm getting slumped down in my chair a little bit. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the more truck drivers, have a tendency to get a good old Dunlop, or build a shed over your tools, you might say. No, my store is not open on Sunday. That's the beauty of me being out here today. It's closed, and that's the one day we don't open. And we open 6 days a week, which is good enough for me. I don't think that I could justify having it open the seventh day, and I really don't want to. Yeah, yeah. They measured my waist. Now I'll tell you what. Now here I am talking about 42 pants or 40 pants, 38 pants. But when doctor's office measures your weight, they go right across your navel, and most of us guys will realize that's a lot bigger part of you than you think. You think your waist is down below that, but it's not. Yeah, that's what we got. Most of us got Dunlap's disease or furniture disease, where your chest done fell into your drawers. Yeah, yeah. Most of us have that, and then, yeah, yeah. I stayed in 42s and 40s for a long time. I've been in the 40s for the past couple of years, but no, I didn't. They wouldn't let me suck in my gut. They wanted a true measurement, and I really wanted them to have a true measurement too, so I can see how bad I am and tried to yeah, trucker gut. Yeah, that's what a lot of us have. It's easy to get and hard to get rid of. That's for sure. But I'm trying to. Um, my double X shirts are getting a little bit loose on me. I wear a lot of double X, and so I'm getting back into some of my extra large. Hey, Josh. Yeah, you were up late. Did your mom get on to you for being up so late, or did you have to sneak that in on her? You and you and Patrick last night. Patrick's in here too, I guess, unless he's falling back asleep. He said he had to put on a second pot of coffee. Yeah, yeah. Josh and Patrick had uh, a unfortunately it put a lot of us to sleep last night because it's so late, and I I didn't get to stay up on it. I stayed in there for a little bit and checked in, but man, I had to hit the sack. Yeah, the Mountain Dew will really put it on you. And I've got some, vitamin water that I've been this, got an orange taste to it and a lemonade taste, and then just good old water. Just good old water. Hey, JC. Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to get down to. Of course, now JC's no big. He's not a big heavy guy like me. JC stays pretty trim. When he came down, now he's not a huge guy, but he's a strong and fit guy for his age and everything. And I think, uh, it's it, as much work as JC does, he kind of Brenda keeps him healthy. And I think Brenda feeds him pretty good too. But with all those trucks he's crawling in and out and under, JC gets plenty of exercise. Yeah, a lot of people do like the dew, but I tell you, the dew will even the diet dew. It has so much sodium, and see, that's one of the things that's bad for you too. You look at the sodium content in some of these drinks; it's just terrible, and that's it's something else. It's something else. Yeah. Yeah, I like Coca-Cola too. I like, soft drinks too, but I've had to be off of them. The only thing I can drink is a soft drink. I can drink Diet Sprite because it has no caffeine and it has no sugar and low in sodium. The sodium's the thing I've got, salt basically. That's what I got to watch. So yeah, I think soft drinks are not good for you. No, that's for sure. I don't care which brand you take. Even we've been searching it out. I used to drink Coke Zero, but Coke Zero has too much caffeine and sodium. So I had to, and they've got another Zero, but you almost have to special order it. We were looking at it online, and it was hard to get. Yeah, I've not. I'm not drinking Coke Zero. I'm not drinking Diet Mountain Dew. Uh, yeah, well, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not. Every caffeinated or caffeine drink I'm off of. I don't drink caffeine anymore at all. I mean, it's water or vitamin water. Uh, I do some Gatorade a little bit, but I have to watch Gatorade because of sodium content on it. And it's something else. Now, JC, I need a commission for every truck that's sold on my site. JC is the tops on wheeling and dealing. He can do it. JC, he's real good at what he does, though. He's really good at what he does. I think most people like watching JC's site because you can get an education. JC's done a lot of things. He's tried more than most of us would like to try. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Sprite. I mean, I'm the same way. The Diet Sprite it's got a weird taste to it. But it's the only kind of cola that I can legitimately that I found right now that I can legitimately drink. The rest of them have too much caffeine or too much sodium, like I said. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I've got a couple of my trucks I'm selling. I've brought a couple out. Some of my day cab single axles. I've got a guy up here on them. He's on my case about getting him a couple more. Yeah. Sprite has no caffeine. That's the reason that's the only one I can actually drink a little bit, like the Diet Sprite, because of the lack of caffeine and everything. But yeah, I've got to thin the herd up here of all my trucks. I've just been buying them. I'm trying to get him to buy a few more. Yeah, so that's the thing about it is the sodium is pretty tough on it. And then a lot of people talk about this aspartame that's in a lot of diet drinks too that's bad for you. So you have to watch that. So basically, good old water is about the best thing. Or if you want to flavor your water, it's hard to beat just good old water. Yeah, yeah, that's not a bad thing, JC. Of course, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I have never drank coffee in my life. And so I've never, well, I tasted it when I was young. And I guess that's the reason I didn't ever drink coffee. I never acquired a taste for coffee. My mother and dad let me taste it when I was little, and I thought it was horrible. So I never wanted coffee in my life. Okay. Well, you go get you some rest then, Michael, and we'll try to have a good week here. You like Coca-Cola, beer, and coffee? Yeah. Well, I can't get any of those. Yeah. Yeah. You take care, Mike Klein. Yeah. It's I have never taken up coffee. Well, I never was a drinker. I've never drank before, so I never needed the coffee to wake me up from a hangover or something either. Yeah, sugar is, if you get rid of the sugar, and I'm the same way too because of this situation, and like I tell a lot of people, I didn't know I was diabetic, and then come to find out that I was pretty bad diabetic, and that's some of the problem that brought on my condition is because of not knowing that I was diabetic and it was creeping up on me. Yeah, well, you can get diabetes from all kinds of different situations, from what I gather. I mean, you're looking at just inactivity, your lack of, and I'm having to walk more. I've got a walking routine with my treadmill or just actually walking on in up and down my road. I have a private drive going up to my shop, and it's a mile up there and back. So I walk that if I can. Yeah, whiskey's good for toothache. That's the only time I've ever had whiskey. It was for a toothache. Yeah, yeah, that's a situation. Yeah, and you know that's the other thing. I've had kidney stones in the past, and they say these caffeinated drinks, especially some of them with I don't know if the aspartame or all the other ingredients they've got are bad for kidney stones. So you have to watch that. So yeah, be sure and watch that, Walter, because that's what I was borderline, and I let it get out of hand and didn't realize it, and then next thing you knew, I couldn't I could walk for a lot less. I couldn't. My wife wanted to get out and walk, and I said, "Man, I'm just tired. I can't." I didn't have my breath, and that was part of the reason. Yeah, Joey, tell JC which part of New York you're in, Joey, because he could slide up there from Ohio and pick it up. He got him a rollback. I hope you got all of his. I guess you got all your rollback problems solved the other day. Yeah, yeah. C12. I'm not a big C12 fan. I had a C12 or a C13 in one of my tractor trailer trucks. Boy, you didn't want to be going up a hill with that thing. I mean, it was slow, slow, slow. If you didn't have a southern route with that, you didn't want to take it. Now C15 is, yeah. Now I've got some C15s. Now my C15s are climb a mountain big time, but those C12s and C13s, I'm not a huge fan of those. Not in a tractor trailer. Now if they're in a box truck or something like that, it might be okay. But for a tractor trailer truck, no. I'm not much for a C12. Yeah, now C15. I've got a C15 in two different trucks I have down here. I've got a Freightliner Classic that I've got a C15 in with a 13 speed. Now it's a house. It'll pull down a house, but the the C13s and C12s that I've had, it's like pulling a wet string out of a cat's butt. And it just you can't do it. It just wouldn't do anything. Yeah, I think it is too. It's more of a box truck type engine. It's just yeah, yeah. If you're a local tandem on flat land, yeah, you'll be fine. But if you get anything that hits a hill, I mean, it's dead in the water. It is. I mean, going on the low side, I've at C12 we had. I mean, you'd be running up Fancy Gap or something like that, and man, I had a guy ask me. He said, "FedEx, can't you go any faster?" I said, "No, the company makes me stay with the truck." So basically, I could have got outside and outran it on foot almost. Scania is making a 770 horsepower. Wow, that's a house. That's a lot of horsepower. Yeah, it's you know I like horsepower. If you're going to have a tractor trailer truck, I mean you want horsepower. You don't want to have to be fighting the gearbox all the time. That's for sure. Yeah, I haven't had a cab over since in the mid '80s, so I don't know. I used to love cab overs because they're tall. Of course, the thing about those cab overs, when you have a wreck, you're the first one to be there. That's for sure. That's the only scary thing about it. And yeah, I think most truck drivers feel a little bit of comfort having a little bit of hood in front of them, as opposed to being right off cab over wise. Yeah. Well, so he was so jerky. In other words, the driver himself was a jerk, uh, or he was just jerky unloading. Yeah, that's sometimes that's what happens. Though you'll get a jerk in every avenue, every business you're in, somewhere, someplace. It doesn't matter. You can be at a doctor's office. You can be at a, uh, trucking business. Any business out there, there's going to be jerks. That's for sure. And that's you can't get. Yeah, yeah. Now that's what we got more long hoods over here now. But back in the day when I was first starting, everything was cab over. I mean, we Carolina Freight. When I started at Carolina Freight, we didn't have but a few B model Max. The only thing we had out there, they had a hood on them. Everything else was a cab over. I mean, we had cab over whites, we had cab over Fords, we had cab over Freightliners. We didn't have anything that was a hooded truck. And then finally, in the mid to late '70s, they started getting the 9000 series Fords, which was the cab over, which had a hood on it and everything. But other than that, we were all cab overs. So it's that's the way we always used to do it. It's uh, we ran a lot of cab overs, and like I said, I trained on a cab over, and I liked cab over when I was young. But then everything seemed to flip in the '80s for the '70s and '80s, and then went from that over to long hoods after that. Oh, he was just a new guy, was he, Chris? Yeah, the cab overs can be dangerous. I've seen some tragic situations there. Yeah, well, that's true too, JC. The cab overs weren't air ride suspension or air ride cabs back then. I mean, they were, when you dropped that cab, it was right down on the on the cab brace, and that was it. You're lucky if you had a air ride seat. I mean, the first couple of that I trained on, they didn't have air ride seat. They had what they call a Bostrom seat, which was spring loaded. It was like not a leaf spring. It was a XY type spring, and it was spring loaded, and you get a little bit of bounce out of that seat, but it wasn't even an air seat. So it was tough to drive those things. That's for sure. And no power steering. I didn't have any power steering in a truck until, gosh, in the mid to late '80s. Oops, I've got a FedEx calling me here. Hold on a second. Hello. Well, that's a recorded message. I can I can hang up on that. It'll go to voicemail. Yeah, the young, the excuse me. Yeah, young guys need to do the cab over so they can get the experience. I'll tell you one thing: a cab over will make you do. It will make your tail draw up if you ever get into a situation where you're going to have to come to a sudden stop, because you got to realize you don't want to tailgate with a cab over, because if somebody were to stop in front of you, you're it. I mean, it's going to smack you. It's going to wipe you out if you tailgate and rear end another tractor trailer truck. I mean, you don't have any cushion at all, so it's going to be tough. Yeah. Well, guys, I've been on here a little over an hour and I'm about wore out. My voice is. I got some things I'm going to have to get back to work at. And I know JC's got to get back to work because he's always, unless it's raining up there, he's got to get back to work. So I'm going to get off here, and I've enjoyed talking with everybody this morning. Y'all take care, and I'll see y'all next Sunday if I don't get out here before then. So I'm going to say goodbye, and y'all take care. I'll see you around.